When you think about buying video games, more than likely the first place that pops into your mind is of course GameStop, especially if you live in the United States. There used to be lots of options out there. You used to have EB Games, Software Etc., Babbage's, Funko Land. But GameStop basically came along and bought up all these companies, making GameStop the most powerful player in the world of video game sales, especially in the United States. But since then, it's been kind of a rocky road for GameStop. Obviously, the rise of digital distribution kind of threw a monkey wrench into their plans, and GameStop has kind of tried to adjust to things. Obviously, they put in things like cell phones and tablets that you could purchase at the store. They're trying to do comic books. And of course, the biggest thing was the acquisition of ThinkGeek, putting in pop culture stuff into their stores. But it's definitely been a very rocky road for GameStop that's been getting progressively worse and worse. Well, recently on the channel, we talked about how GameStop was potentially up for sale and there was a couple different suitors. But now all of that has changed. GameStop is actually no longer for sale and things just do not look good for the company. So what's going on with this GameStop situation? Sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about what is going on at GameStop.
Hey, RGT 85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards! So a couple weeks ago on the channel, we of course talked about how GameStop was up for sale and that there were some potential suitors looking at purchasing the company. Now, 2018 was not a good year for GameStop. Obviously, they were having lots of problems. There was lots of turnover in upper management positions. They reported huge losses of nearly $500 million. So the company was a bit in peril. And there were two companies that were potentially looking at purchasing GameStop. One of them being the Sycamore Partners, one of them being Apollo Global Management. Now, both of these companies are pretty similar in how they are structured and what they do. They basically come in and look at companies that are struggling to adapt to a modern era, purchase these companies, and then try to revive them. The Sycamore Partners have been involved with companies such as Hot Topic and Staples, and the Apollo Global Management team has been in with companies such as Chuck E. Cheese and Claire's. So they obviously know what to do and how to adapt to the modern age, which is something that GameStop obviously just does not know how to do. Well, today it was announced by GameStop that the company is no longer for sale. GameStop went on record and said the following: GameStop's board has now terminated efforts to pursue a sale of the company due to a lack of available financing on terms that would be commercially acceptable to the prospective acquirer. So now GameStop is saying, you know what, we're no longer for sale. And because of this, there's definitely been some fallout, especially on the investor side of things. GameStop stock has not been good for quite a while. It's been plummeting, and now it's plummeted over 25% since this announcement. People are jumping off of the sinking ship of GameStop, and it's just crazy to see because obviously there are some big problems with this company. I just feel like a lot of these companies got too big during this era. You've seen it with places like Sears and Kmart during the 90s to the early 2000s when these companies just exploded, and then the rise of online purchasing, the rise of alternative options really sort of hampered these companies, and that's why a lot of these companies are going out of business. And it's just crazy to see that GameStop is in this much trouble, and now they can't even find someone to buy the company on acceptable terms. I actually hit up GameStop and offered them $20, an Xbox 360 that didn't work, and a slice of pizza, and they actually turned down my offer as well. They said it just wasn't beneficial to me as a potential suitor. So, you know, it's just getting very crazy, and I think you're going to start to see some big fallout from this sooner than later. I think a lot of GameStop stores are just going to have to close. There are too many stores in too many areas where it's just overpopulated with all of these stores. There's a GameStop on every corner, a GameStop on every block. So there's going to be some big changes with GameStop. And initially I felt like if a company came in and purchased them, you wouldn't really see these right at the start because they would obviously have to analyze for probably like a year or so, see what the strengths are, see what the weaknesses are, and then go from there. But now that the company isn't for sale, it's hemorrhaging investors, it's just some drastic action needs to happen. So I'm definitely very curious to see how this plays out. I know a lot of you guys are very interested in the future of GameStop, so I thought it would be fun to talk about this topic because there's a lot of stuff going on and it's just fascinating to see. So let me know in the comments section down below what you think of this. Are you surprised that GameStop is no longer for sale? Do you think that a place like Sycamore Partners or the Apollo Management Company could have potentially saved the company, or are they just beyond, are they just damaged goods beyond repair? Thanks for checking out this video, and as always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Check out other videos on the channel, and I'll keep you guys updated on everything going on in the world of GameStop. Later.